Hey y'all, welcome back to Karmic Insights with Miss Complexity. I, of course, am Miss Complexity, your host. So, today we are going to be discussing this week about the jealous siblings. Now, I want to express this because this is something that people are like, oh, my sibling, it's just little childish child play. It's not always child's play, okay? It means a lot more, okay? It can have long lasting effects on certain siblings, okay? So, I'm going to also say that this is not just about siblings, but it could be about cousins and other family relatives as well. Maybe you grew up in a family where your aunt was possibly your caregiver at one point. Maybe your aunt was around your age or whatever. Um, or your uncle, and your uncle was jealous of you. You know what I'm saying? It can be anything in that nature, but this is going to touch on what actually causes these jealousy tendencies and how to see that they are there, as well as what it does to a person in the long run and how to heal from it. So let's get started. Well, I'm going to tell y'all a little bit about me and my sibling. As we were growing up, I was the one that was the sickly one because I had sickle cell anemia. A lot of people would gravitate towards that, trying to keep me from being sick. And I'm so fragile, this, I'm so fragile, that. And what I've learned throughout the years recently is that my siblings hated that mess. They didn't like that. They seen how people was treating me and was like, oh, she get favored. Okay. Oh, so she gets to get this because she's sick. I have an older brother who all of a sudden just tells me that he has ADHD. I ain't never heard him say anything about him being, having a problem. I have an older sister. My older sister literally hates my guts, but she also, well, she went through a lot. She been through a lot when she was a younger. When she was younger, she went through a lot, and all she really wanted was her dad. But she hated me because of the way that my mother sheltered me. And she always said, it's your mother's fault that you're like this. I have a younger brother who I looked up to as an older brother. And my younger brother, I swear, I loved him so much. We were like this, two peas in a pod, until he got married. I started smoking weed, and it just fell out from there. One thing about my younger brother was that I didn't like was that I would always, my brother said, my brother's this, my brother that. I will always gloat on my younger brother, and he never ever would say nothing about me. Like, he got a business, I would promote his business in my business, but he would not promote my business in his business. He would not let people come towards me to help me build up my business. He just refused to do it. Like, he didn't want to see me do better than him, basically. And then I have a younger sister, but we're not connected. We barely talk. I barely know her, anything about her. She works a lot. Other than that, I really don't know. I have been diagnosed with chronic kidney disorder. So as I'm getting older, more and more stuff is coming out. I also have an aunt. My aunt don't like me. She don't like me because my grandmother said something to her that was very special and about me, and she did not take no, she didn't take it very well. But anyway, those are my siblings and me. I love my siblings unconditionally, but because of my disabilities, I lacked, and they made sure I stayed in lack. They didn't like the way people favored me, and they felt that I was using my sickness as a way to be favored. If they felt the pain that I was feeling when I was going through my crises, they would not, they'd have a different outlook on what the heck my favoritism was. Nobody never in the family had to go through any of the things that I went through. Nobody's been in a coma. Nobody's lost hearing. Nobody's, had it like I had it. And from what I understand, they like the fact that I was the sickly one, you know? But it is what it is. Let's move on. So, what actually causes this jealous tendency between siblings and relatives and, cousins and things as that such? Well, the first thing that causes it would be parent favoritism. Really did shelter me to the point that she kind of ruined my life to the point where I have no friends, nobody, and it really sucked. Also, low self-esteem, that would bring on low self-esteem. Being isolated and by yourself, it would bring on low self-esteem. But that's my story. A lot of other people have low self-esteem because, well, why are they favoring? Sometimes there's generational trauma that also helps with this jealous tendency. There was a lot of animosity. The more siblings in the family, the more animosity, the more jealousy can come out unless you actually train them in a way that they understand there is no competition. You all are together in this. You looking at your sibling and you're wanting to be like them. This is like you look up to your sibling. I look up to my siblings, but I don't want to be like them. I don't want I don't want them problems. Which brings us to, what does it look like when there's siblings and jealousy in the family? There's always competition. Always. I'm going to be better than them. I'm going to be better than she. I'm going to be better. Oh, she thinks she all that. So I'm going to be better because I want what she got. I want to be the one that people come to, the one that people gloat on, the one that people give to, the one that people favor. It's always going to be competition. That's where you know there's sibling. Your sibling is competing against you or comparing. Well, I got a car, I got a house, I got this. What you got? When they do that, basically, yeah, that's some sort of jealousy up in there. I didn't know that all that mess made us sense. I'm like, so what? Also, backhanded compliments or remarks. Now, that's something that my whole entire family, not just my siblings or my cousin, but my entire family does to me. Once a bridemaid, never a bride, was my cousin would say to me, or she'll say some stupid crap like, "You did good, but you should have did this, you should have did that, you should have did this, but you ain't do nothing." Okay, so then she turns around and buys a what you call it, so she could do it herself, and she realized that it ain't as easy as she thought it was. I made it look easy because it comes to me in my nature. That is what I'm supposed to do, not what you're supposed to do. You ain't even found yourself yet. Okay, let me get off. I'm getting off. Okay. Okay. They will ignore your success, your compliment, your accolades. They will ignore anything good that's happening to you, or they won't support you at all. Now, I had legitimate daggone reason not to be in some of the situations, or they don't care. My sister, my older sister, ain't never been in none of my stuff. I've hosted so many things, and my older sister just refused to come. That's how I know she hate my blood. But I also seen her at my cousin's stuff, but she would never come to my stuff. So yeah. And then there's the sabotaging the relationships. They don't want to see you happy. What is this? You got a man now? Oh, I'm not married, so you ain't gonna be married either. Or I'm gonna ruin it. Or I'm gonna have sex with your or I'm gonna keep y'all apart. Or, it's always something. That's what you would see if there was jealousy between siblings, cousins, or aunts and uncles in your age range. Comparison and competition, backhanded remarks and compliments, ignoring your success and what you do, not giving a dang, turning their back on you, sabotaging your relationships. Oh, girl, so much competition is a killer, boy. Because what happens is they end up spending all of their life competing against you. So, so what happens to you when there is jealous sibling? Well, there's guilt, they're guilty or you feel guilty. Um, you have emotional exhaustion because you don't know if you could trust them or not. Like you're walking on eggshells, like, should I tell them or should I not or what? You always play yourself small. You don't want to, if I do this, they're not going to be happy. You don't want to live your life fully because they're going to try to do whatever they can to sabotage it, bring it down, make you feel bad about it. It's just what, my goodness. Family get togethers will not be all that good because they will always be trying to make you look better than what it is already. And when they do that, you can tell that it's completely jealousy. When we used to have get togethers and family get together, my mother was the one that always brought up all my mess ups and downsides. So when she brought it out, guess who else is gonna bring it out? Cousin gonna say something about something, and sister gonna say something about something, and brother gonna say something about something. They just gonna just make you look like you a horrible person just because. And it's just like, damn, well, did I do anything good in life? I mean, only thing that you can tell me is how I wasn't good enough. How was I couldn't do this, I couldn't do that. And then you want to talk bad about it. Makes no sense. It also brings in trust issues. And I'm telling you, I got some serious trust issues. I trust like nobody. Anyway, what it does to you is make you have the guilt trip, make you feel guilty about what you've done or what you've been trying to do. It gives you emotional exhaustion because you're working on eggshells, trying to be careful of what you do. Make yourself play small because you're like, I don't want to do this because they will feel a certain way. And the family functions just revolve around you. And you have them trust issues. It is what it is. So, how do we heal from all that? How do we heal from jealous siblings? But you have to set boundaries, okay? Stop seeking approval from them. Hey, I did this. You like it? No, they don't always say no. They're going to always make you feel like what you do ain't good enough. Speak your truth. You know what the heck happened. You know that they sabotage you in your relationship. You know that they be creeping at night and trying to figure out what they was they can do to make sure that you don't succeed. You know what's going on. Speak your truth. I don't care how hard or bad it is or what it is or stop walking on them daggone eggshells. Tell people what happened and tell your truth. Get a podcast and start talking. Shoot. And if they have a problem with it, say, come address me on my podcast. Let's get it out in the open because maybe, just maybe, there is some sort of miscommunication, misunderstanding. But we'll never know because you just took it for what it was in your head and decided to be a jealous sibling. Who cares? Forgive yourself, but don't forget what they did because in a hot split of a second, they can go back and do it again. I don't wish anything bad on none of my siblings, my family members, period, people, anybody. I don't. The reason why, because my name is Karma for a reason. I do not want anybody to go and then it come back to me. That's why I keep going. I just want everybody to heal. Y'all want to skip the healing process and get to the goody good. And that's not how it works. So learn how to heal and then we can move forward. So, with that being said, this has been this week's Chat Chat. I am on vacation, as you guys see. Yay! Yeah, I had to take a little break, had to take a little breather.